Do you guys remember this building? This building right here? This is the bridge. It's got like spikes on it. You fight these guys. A couple dudes drop down from up there. You come in here. There's dangling spiders. The dangling spiders would have been the giveaway, except for I've already killed all of them. This door right over here is where you use the Brightstone key that you get from the Duke's dear Freya. I haven't actually been in here yet, as you could tell by the fact that it was still locked, but Edie Banana EVG, one of our friendly commenters, pointed out that this is where to come and that there's good loot. Let's go ahead and not die getting the good loot, if possible. Only one spider crawled out right there. There was a lot in the holes. Okay, yeah, there we go. This looks more right in terms of number of spiders. This is the spider count we were expecting. We are wielding our usual bastard sword +5, so the overhand attack is just killing them in one hit. And what do we got? What do we got in here? Black Knight, Ultra Greatsword, Great Fireball, and a Fire Seed. That actually seems like it might all be amazing for our build. So the Fire Seed will help us upgrade our Pyromancy. Great Fireball just sounds good. Yes, this was brought about by dying to the Medusa about like 1 trillion times. Let's go ahead and, yeah, check out the sword. It's an Ultra Great Sword, so it's probably further down on the list than most swords. That looks like it might be right. Black Knight Ultra Great Sword. Yeah. I guess I should be looking at it in equipment, though, in order to see the stats, the requirements as well. Okay, so it would take 30 strength. We're at 23. It's got, requires 16 dex, which is exactly what we have, which is rather convenient. It weighs a ton, but it does 186 normal damage and 80 fire damage as well, which seems pretty awesome. So yeah, it's going from 6 to 18 for the weight, but that's a sweet sword. We can actually two-hand it right now. That should be true, I believe. Anyhow, we've got more more than a third of its strength, or more than 2/3 of its strength. So you get 50% extra strength. Let's check out the skills then. There's the parry. Oh, couldn't check and see if it was chained together because we ran out of stamina. It uses a little bit of stamina to swing. That is actually the just normal fierce attack. The smash attack is that one. Does put the blade forward rather than plunging it into the ground. Let's kill a spider with it. Can we just light attack and kill a spider? No, we can't. Oh, I guess it's a spider dude, not just a spider. But you can see that we're doing a little bit of extra fire damage there. All right. Excellent. Alright, up next, you can see we're in the shaded woods. We used a fragrant branch of yore on the petrified dude over there. You can see he's alive and well now, and will respawn forever, being a pain in everyone's neck. We got a Fang key when we killed him. That was what it was called, the Fang key. And at the time, I just kind of like, whatever, I tried for a while and then gave up because I had no idea where I was going, right? Well, I have discovered where you are to use the Fang key. By discovered, I mean found it on one of the many awesome Dark Souls 2 wikis. We will have to fight our way there a little bit. Probably not yet, though. We can probably just run over to here. Over here, you can fall into the ground. First off, grab some items. I don't know if they're going to drop down and, like, murder us or not. Homing Soul Mass. Sorcery.
Ah, look how far this undead has wandered.
Dude to talk to, of course we're going to talk to him.
And a very fit undead you are. A bit too alive, but with a darkish shadow. Yet still unprepared for a deeper dark. And like every undead, you have no future. Oh my, don't mind me. I'm just talking amongst myself. But if you find a need for a truer dark, then meet again. We shall.
Oh, dude, this guy's pretty grimdark.
The dark is still nascent within you. May the dark shine your way.
Dark don't shine, buddy.
The dark is still...
Alright. The actual door is just down that way. Let's go ahead and drop down to here. Up. People say to go up. Might have just stood in some acid a little bit there. I'd prefer to not get cursed, if at all possible. When given a choice, I choose not cursed. Or petrified, my mistake. I keep on using the Dark Souls 1 terminology. Excellent. And we'll go right through there, but first I wanna just check out over here, you know. Be a little bit thorough. I've never been down this hole before. Ooh, a twinkling titanite is always very nice. There we are. The Fang key. I almost killed that, not gonna lie.
Thank you for helping me. I am Ornifex. I owe you some form of thanks, but have nothing for you at the moment. If it would not trouble you, could you visit my abode just down the way? Thank you, kind traveler. I believe that I can be of assistance if you would visit me at my home. Thank you, kind.
Good old Estus Flask charge. Take us up to, I think, 9 charges on it. What? A Zweihander? Well, guys, I was just about to start recording anyhow, start commentating anyhow, since we are now very close to where Ornifex's lair is actually. But I actually found out how to get to this bonfire at the bottom of Brightstone Cove, Seldora. It turns out it's actually like you can. I'll show you. You can ride across the zip lines. And that's pretty much all that you need to know. You can ride across, which particular zip line is it? Whatever, I'm editing in video. Anyhow, what actually stopped me in my tracks on my way to Ornifex there was that I got a Zweihander. This is actually one of my favorite weapons in Dark Souls 1 because it lets you just kind of you can enchant it with a lot of awesome stuff, basically. And then you just have this giant sweeping weapon that kills a lot of things. You can get it very early on. We actually need 1 more strength in order to one-hand it. It is starting out pretty high in damage, 175. The Bastard Sword actually started at 140, so we're probably not going to need to upgrade this too much before it really starts to look worthwhile. It does have that extra weight, but you can see it's going to make up for it in range. And the attack speed's not quite there, but you know, I think that I might be dropping 1 point into strength and equipping this. That might become my jam. We might upgrade that. It might be amazing. Anyhow, for now, we don't have that 1 point in strength, and being able to block is quite nice. I like it quite a lot. So I'm going to grab the Bastard Sword and just pop right on over to here. Which is where Ornifex is. We should maybe close this door. Can we close this door? Close it faster? Oh no. Oh, okay. Alright, that That was not as desired. Hopefully we're safe talking to her.
We meet again, kind traveler. This is my workshop. In your tongue, I believe I would be called a blacksmith. I create all manner of equipment using an ancient technique unique to my people. Normally, I only cater to a very select few. But I have a debt to you. I will craft one thing of your choice. My wares are far from ordinary. I am certain that they will please you. I require no payment this time, but you must bring me a wondrous soul. My technique absolutely requires it. I trust you will understand.
Oh, I suppose I will. So we can buy weapons from her. Curved greatsword, the Murakumo. It's essentially a giant katana. A giant katana. We'd need 4 more dexterity in order to equip it. It is starting out at 190 strength, though, which is quite high. Spear, twin blade, bow. Just a bow. Just composite bow. Never mind. Sorry. Partisan, twin blade, composite bow. Composite bow, requires a little bit more dexterity than we have, but I'm sure that it gives you some extra damage or some extra range on your arrows. And then, what else does she sell? Some fire arrows and fire bolts. Excuse me. Sorry for that. 10 amber herbs, 10 green blossoms, infinite flame butterflies, which aren't that useful, homing soul arrow, homing soul mass, fall control, requires 15 intelligence, otherwise we'd look into that. We've died falling a fair number of times, but the important thing here, I think, is going to be the trade option, because it allows you to trade in wondrous souls, right? So, boss souls. We could get the Lost Sinner's Sword. Let's check the info on it. An ultra great sword forged from the soul of the Lost Sinner. Its blade saps the life of its wielder. That doesn't seem great. The true nature of this sword is unknown, even to the Lost Sinner herself. That was a girl? Lost Sinner's a chick? Huh. I suppose. Cool. Those who choose this sword will share the burden of the Lost Sinner's misdeeds. Effect. Attacks damage wielder. Doesn't seem great. Am I, missing something here? It's only doing 160 damage, and it's hurting you while it does it, and it's got pretty high stat requirements as well. The Spider Fang. Ooh, that looks good for a dex build, though. It's got A scaling and dexterity. Only starts at 84 base damage. It says D-scaling on both of them. Huh, I'm not sure about that Lost Sinner's sword. Curved sword forged from the soul of the Duke's dear Freya. Its blade is coated with a sticky silk that is cast with each strong attack, slowing enemy movement. Supposedly, the Duke himself, an eccentric soul fascinated with spiders, went on to take a form that was far from human. So strong attack has movement slowdown. But the spider's silk. It has S scaling in dexterity. Thrusting sword forged from the soul of the Duke's dear Freya. Its needle-like blade can easily pierce the seams of the toughest armor. Supposedly, the Duke himself, an eccentric soul fascinated with spiders, went on to take a form that was far from human. We already heard that. It has shield piercing on its strong attack, so that's actually pretty decent. And the Dragon Slayer Spear. A ranseur, forged from the soul of the old Dragon Slayer. Spear of the Night, known as the Dragon Slayer, was imbued with the power of lightning and shattered the stone scales of dragons. Strong attack unleashes its latent power, so it has a lightning special attack. And it also does lightning damage. Ooh, I am tempted to get Ornstein's Spear, man. I also noticed that this only weighs 0.5, so you can be really light and be whipping around with this thing. That actually, that's a strong weapon for a dexterity build. Dexterity builds are hard early game because you have to kind of forego getting strength as much as possible and just use items that you can use. So if this was your end goal, think of how far into the game you have to get with only 5 strength if you really want to do that. Alternatively, you can, like, I don't know, maybe farm up a bunch of souls or use the Lord Vessel or something like that, but that's pretty harsh itself. Awesome. What about reinforcing? Does she have any extra options for those? For instance, you know, my bastard sword. Can you do anything particularly amazing with it? Requires 3 large Titanite shards to move it up to the next level. I'm honestly thinking that the Zweihander is my next jam, though. It's only got D scaling in strength versus the C scaling right here, so it will be losing out a little bit of damage there. But by the time we get this thing to +5, which it's actually pretty cheap to do, might actually do it right now. I just want to kind of like be sure that this is a reasonable thing to do, though. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. We've got a lot of Titanite shards, and I believe we can buy just about as many as we want from our new vendor back over yonder. We can see this is already in base damage eclipsed the bastard sword, and it's only at +3, so that seems good. Seems pretty good to me. I'm gonna hold on to the large Titanite shards, though. Those have been pretty few and far between so far. But yeah, I'll be going back and getting the 1 more strength that we need in order to one-hand that. And also it gives you a damage boost when you two-hand it. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I believe we're just going to need to use a large soul of the lost undead? Well, let's use 2. Darn. Let's use 2 more to make sure that we can get the upgrade. I don't believe we're too much over 10,000 for upgrading, are we?
Is that a shot? Here, to see that. However,
give me more Estus flasks. At this point, I've got enough Estus flasks that it rarely seems like that will be very helpful. Regardless, we have been strengthened. Leveling. You're kidding me. What was it? It was very little. Let's just use all of these rinky-dink souls.
there, lest this...
Yes, larger souls. She needs all the souls. Alright, excellent. We definitely wasted some there. But, alright, 1 more strength. Yes, do it. And let's go ahead and equip that bad boy. 210 plus 60. Zweihander plus 3. 227 plus 52. So we're pretty much breaking even on damage. We're gaining a lot of range, though. So 227 plus 52, that's 279. That one's 270. But again, remember that we're actually 2 stages lower in the upgrade. So, and we did actually attain C scaling there. By the time this is legitimately upgraded, it will be pretty beast, I feel. Again, we do weigh a lot more now. We can still swing it 4 times. We've got insane range now. It's our fierce attack. It does not seem too bad at all whatsoever. Let's just see if she's...
Well, I've only one thing to provide, and we both know what that is.
Give me your stones. So she's just got 7 Titanite shards. It's not actually infinite. She does not have infinite Titanite shards.
No interest. Suit yourself.
I think I do want to pop 2 more upgrades onto this. It is a pretty big investment, but I think a worthwhile one. I think that I will be sticking with these Zweihander for a while at least. Where are you? Where are you, Zweihander? Oh yeah, it's the one marked. It is equipped right now. Okay, so we need to... Probably, we're going to upgrade it twice, so we need around 2,000 souls. Let's try and aim for 2,500. Fading soul. I think these are 50 each. Yeah? Is that right? Alright, let's just use them. I don't know why I feel like using them first. And I think these are 200 each. Oh, well, way more. Soul of a Nameless Soldier is actually much more reasonable.
You again. I'll be around.
Alright. Now we're going to be hitting real hard with this thing. 262 plus 56. So we just gained over the bastard sword. We're doing 320 or 318 damage. This was 270. So that's a pretty respectable upgrade. Again, it is much more weight. So, when we're doing something other than trying to murder the spider, we will have to adjust for that. But I'm actually not thinking that fat rolling is that big of a detriment in our current plan. Remember, we're just trying to, like, absolutely DPS her down. So, this way under was not the answer I was looking for. I was just trying to use some keys that I had found in the past when I had reached a very tricky point. One more thing, and this was actually pointed out by another kindly commenter. I don't have their name handy, and I apologize for that. Whoever you are, thank you very much. I want to go ahead and grab a set of armor called the Drangleic armor, which is over near the Pursuer. We remember that fine friend. We do a little bit of damage with our Zweihander now. If we two-hand, we'll actually be one-shotting these guys, which seems worthwhile. How dare you block me? Alright. It doesn't seem entirely like a reasonable amount of stamina there, but now let's ignore him. We don't even need to go through the fog gate to get to the Pursuer anymore. We can head right on past. Point being, I don't care if that undead chases me. He's got a long way to get here. Alright, and this I am not entirely clear. I will drop down there once I have checked around here. You know, kind of everywhere else, I guess. Is this a hidden door? Doesn't that just kind of look like a hidden door? It's like a weird seam in the bricks there. Regardless, it doesn't actually seem to be. Okay, so dropping down here. And down here. There we are, the Drangleic sword, Drangleic shield, Drangleic mail, gauntlets, leggings. Let's go ahead and check it out. First off, where's the sword? There it is. Requires 25 strength and 20 dexterity. Great Sword of Drummond, Royal Army Captain. An old and unadorned sword, perhaps, but the pride and joy of this venerable captain. An heirloom passed from grandfather to father, and then from father to son. Drummond and those before him used this sword to repel those who would threaten their great land. Cool, and it looks like it's doing pretty respectable damage, but it's got very high stat requirements. You can see we'd need still another strength and then another 4 dexterity in order to equip it. It also might not be on the normal Titanite upgrade path, which is where things get like legit scary to start spending. Like Twinkling Titanite, you don't want to be throwing that around too lightly. Oh, well, let's also take a look at it, right? Come on. Indeed, we can't effectively use it with these stats, but we can look at it. And it is pretty cool looking. And then on the helmet... Oh, wait. None of those are actually Drangleic. There was no Drangleic helmet here, my bad. The Drangleic mail. It has ace scaling and strength, which is something to notice right off the bat. It's also very, very heavy, but has some hella good stats. Has its poison resist, notably. Actually pretty bad compared to what we've got on now. Drangleic gauntlets are kind of the same story. High weight, but quite good in terms of stats, particularly with respect to physical resistance. So there you are, it's the Drangleic set with the Gyrim helmet. Last but not least, there's the Drangleic Shield, and there's a weird cut here simply because I forgot to check it at first. And the Drangleic Shield, I think we're actually going to equip. We're now, after Belfio, we're in the Iron Keep. Remember, I remember. And there's going to be a lot of fire damage, I'm just guessing by, you know, like all the lava and things you can see in the background. And this has high fire resist, and weighs a little bit less. It's got reasonable stability. That's actually my the one downside there is that we're losing 12 stability. So if we find that our stamina is being depleted by a lot of enemies, we might trade back to the Twin Dragon Shield. And then since we did that, maybe we can equip some form of glove. Since we lost a little bit of weight there. So like what's going to be best here? We're really looking for, I think, fire resist in this area. Fire resist and physical. So let's just throw on these sorcerer's gloves so that we've got something to compare against. That's a little bit worse against fire, a little bit better against physical. Where are the actual falconer's gloves? That's what we should check first, is if we can re-equip them if we have the weight. We don't, actually, it turns out. We could maybe actually swing that anyhow and just unequip a ring might be the way to go. Because even just unequipping this will get us down. Okay, cool. So now we've got the whole falconer set on, which actually does have pretty high fire resist in general. Got the Drangleic Shield, got our Zweihander, and we are good to go. I will see you guys next episode in the Iron Keep.